The National Party leadership appears at odds tonight over the future sale of Kiwibank. It comes after 3 News revealed last night a secret recording of Bill English's views during the National Party conference at the weekend. English appears to favour a future sale, but Key has today said a sale is unlikely. Joining us now is political editor Duncan Garner. Duncan.
Good evening, Hillary. Well, yes, this is pretty sloppy stuff from the National Party. It does appear to me that both John Key and Bill English now have differing opinions over the future sale of the Kiwibank. The National Party conference, like most, are heavily rehearsed and staged. But at a social event on Friday night, Deputy Leader Bill English was secretly taped talking to 2 delegates about the possibility of selling the government-owned Kiwibank. The audio was leaked exclusively to 3 News last night. Have a listen.
How about things like Kiwibank?
Yeah, we've got to do something, but we can't do it now.
Haven't really got rid of Kiwibank,
Well, eventually, but not now.
Yeah, that's just the way it is.
It's working. Our supporters get a bit angsty, but it's working.
English clearly favours a sale one day, but National's policy is not to sell assets in its first term. And its leader is arguing English hasn't strayed far from the script.
He's simply making the point that, we have a policy, and the policy is this: we won't be selling Kiwibank in our first term, nor are we likely to sell it in the future.
But the language is looser and less careful, and Labor has pounced.
We've always known that the National Party supports selling state assets. They felt they've had to say they won't sell state assets, but I think what we learned from this conversation is, given a half an excuse, they'd revert to type.
English also gives frank views on why National needs to keep some Labor policies, like working for families.
All our work tells us they are pretty keen on keeping their bit they got. And we call them Labor Plus voters. And they're sitting there thinking, that nice man, Mr. Key, he's pretty smart. He'll get me a bit more.
The government believes English is patronising Key.
Clearly, English sees Key as the sort of smiling face. He's the pretty boy put up front, but English is the real brains behind it all.
But English also suggests National may make changes to the Working for Families program down the track.
The last thing we watched in the whole election campaign with families of 4 on TV saying, Mr. Key took our money off us. You can't do that. So later on we'll have to have a bit of a sort out.
English also suggests that Key doesn't understand working for families, but Key is dismissing that.
I think he does defend me the whole time, but we always have robust debates about things.
These conferences are usually so well scripted, unless, of course, you're a bit loose with your talk and you're taped. So, Hillary, this is a bit embarrassing, really, for the National Party. Bill English clearly thought he could get away with talking to this delegate or these 2 delegates, and he simply hasn't got away with it. The secret recording has taken place. But look, what's vital here is that I think that John Key and Bill English now definitely do have 2 separate opinions on the future sale of Kiwibank. You saw Bill English there in that tape. He eventually wants a sale, and John Key is talking about it's most unlikely. This is a very untidy position for the National Party to be holding. They will get questions tomorrow in Parliament. Labor will simply just hit the nuclear button on this, because for so long Labor have been saying that the National Party has a secret agenda. So very untidy day on what should have been a successful Monday coming out of their annual conference.
Duncan, thank you. The admission from Bill English that Kiwibank will eventually be sold has infuriated ordinary New Zealanders. 3 News spoke to some of the bank's customers in Wellington today, and everyone we approached was against the sale. Rachel Morton reports.
Kiwibank has been operating for 6 years now, and each week 2,000 more customers open an account. The attraction? It's New Zealand owned and operated. But with National's admission it will eventually sell the bank, customers are reeling.
I'd be horrified. I think it's a real tragedy that we only have one major New Zealand bank, and to sell it probably offshore would be a real tragedy.
I'm not terribly